Greetings, it's Ian from RDO here. Welcome to Retro Ranking, where we concentrate on songs. And this week we're going to go through an artist's catalogue, and I'm just going to pick on that track off that album. It's not probably the best. It's when I give it a quick listen and go, oh, we'll talk about that one today. So today we're doing Jethro Tull. We've got 24 albums. Or was it 26? I don't know. There's a lot of albums, put it that way. So we're going to start right at the beginning, of course, and their 1968 album, their debut, this was. There's some great tracks on this one, isn't there? My Sunday Feeling, this is quite jazzy. A Song for Jeffrey is wonderful. But I've gone for A Serenade to a Cuckoo, because it's a very jazzy sound. I love the piano and the flute. And I was lucky enough to see Jethro Tull perform this at Milton Keynes Bowl. And I do love it. It's just a quirky little song. Okay, we'll move on to 1969 and the Stand Up album. It's got Burry on it, which is a great classical piece. A wonderful Fat Man. But I think the track that really springs out to my mind when I think of this album, and it's Look Into the Sun. It's a lovely song. I think the acoustic guitars are really great, and Iain's vocal on it is wonderful. It's such a proper folk song. Really like that one. Okay, let's move on to Benefit from 1970. Again, a really good songs on there. With You There to Help Me, Playing Time. But I went for To Cry You a Song. For me, this has all been about Martin Barr's guitar work. The riffs. Absolutely wonderful. And our good friend Joe Jamfrey actually met Martin a few weeks ago. There's a lovely picture of Joe and Martin. Fabulous guitar player. So yeah, that's one song that really always stands out for me on Benefit. Okay, we'll move to 1971 and Aqualung. Of course, you've got Aqualung on there and Locomotive Breath, but Cross-Eyed Mary, it is one of my favourite tracks off the album. I just love that flute at the beginning for me, and it's really good. The bass line as well. This is actually one of Steve Harris's favourite tracks as well. Okay, 1972. This is my favourite album, as you know. Thick as a Brick. Now it's split into little bits, but when they did the remaster, they did split it down even more, which is really good. You've got The Poet and the Painter, which is great, Tales of Your Life. But it's the start of it, and it really don't mind. And see, There's a Son Is Born. I love this. The opening of The Thick of a Brick is just wonderful. The guitar for Martin is fantastic. It's the bit they always play, at concerts if they only do a little short piece, And when I saw them, people started singing the lyrics. It's just a fantastic little song. Okay, shall we move on to 1973 and A Passion Play? There's some really good stuff on this. Again, it's all sort of 2 bits, but they split it up, I think. And we got Memory Bank. I'll be able to get last year the story of the hare and who lost his spectacles. But it's the Oversea Overture for me. The keyboard work is wizardry, and Iain's flute just keeps darting in and out of that excellent little track. Okay, we move on to War Child from 1974. War Child is just fabulous. Skating the way on the thin ice of the new day. Lovely little folky song. But I've gone for Bungle in the Jungle. I just love the sound of the jungle and the flute. It just doesn't match, but it does. It's really, really good. Okay, 1975's Minstrel in the Gallery. Minstrel in the Gallery is brilliant. Baker Street Muse, fantastic pieces of work. but for me it's that jazzy black satin dancer. I love the drumming on this. Of course, Iain's flute is fantastic as ever. It's just the outstanding piece from the minstrel in the gallery. 1976 now, and the Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die album. You've got the title track, which is really good. Pied Piper is another outstanding, but Salamander, woo! Martin Barr's guitar work is brilliant, and it's one of the best vocals on that album for me. And 1977 then, we got Songs from the Wood. We've got the Jack from the Jack in the Green, brilliant track. But it's Hunting Girl. Okay, people say it sounds like Locomotive Breath, but when I first saw Jethro Tull, this is the song they open with, and it's still, I still remember that opening, that flute at the beginning, the drumming, the little phasing guitar bits. It's why it's one of my favourite tracks. 1978, and the very underrated Heavy Horses, and the Mount, and on the Mount, and Please Never Sleeps, and No Lullaby. Brilliant tracks in their own right, but Heavy Horses, the title track, is absolutely brilliant. I love the guitar work on this. The drumming and go is some of the best guitar work on this album from Martin. Stormwatch from 1979's next. Orion, moving. The Flying Dutchman, another moving track. But the Dark Ages is my favourite. Really good drums. It's got one of the heavy riffs, and it's probably one of the heaviest tracks I think Jethro Tull ever recorded. I really like that track. Okay, 1980, and the album A. Now this was supposed to be a Ian Anderson solo album, but it wasn't, and there's not much on this album that I really dig. But the Pine Martin's Jig, I do. It's a proper jig reel. It's definitely the best track on the album. It's one of the shortest, but it sort of sticks to what Jethro Tull was all about. Okay, 1982, The Broadsword and the Beast. Beastie Broadsword is an excellent track, but Pussy Willow, I love that. I've seen him do this live. Not so much flute, but it's got some nice guitar work from Martin, and again it's a really good track. Okay, 1984. Under Wraps, not a good album. The one that Iain forgot to take his flute to the studio. But European Legacy has got some flute on it. You remembered it that day. It's the best track on a terrible album. And this is the best of the worst, I'm afraid. Okay. Up next, from 1987, Crest of a Name. I love Steel Monkey. I think that's the word. It's a bit 80s, but it's still good. But Jumpstart is brilliant. I love the guitar work from Martin, and I think it's got some real haunting flute from Iain on that one. Okay, 1989, we have got Rock Island, Heavy Water, brilliant track. The Whalers Do's, a lovely story about the whaling ships. But the title track, Rock Island, brilliant. I love the drumming on this, especially on the hi-hats. And then halfway through you get that wonderful flute solo. 1991, we've got Catfish Rising. Rocks on the Road, excellent track. Very underrated album this is. Doctor to My Disease, another good track. But I love the Sparrow on the Schoolyard Wall. I love the lyrics. I like the quirky keyboard on it. It's just a super little track. 1995, we've got Roots to Branches. The title track is really good. Wounded Old Treacherous is a good track, but Dangerous Veils, haunting. Some lovely guitar work on that. It's the most standout. not one of their better albums, but these 3 tracks do stand out. It's very hard to choose between those 3. 1999, we've got jtool.com, an album that I'm not particularly fond of, but I do like Absent Without Leave, probably the best track on here. It does resemble something of a Jethro Tull track. It's got some lovely keyboards on it and float. Then there's a break, and then we get the Jethro Tull Christmas album. I'm not going to go too much about this because we're doing it on a perfect side for Christmas, so there's a bit of a spoiler for you. Oh Fire at Midnight, you know, Ring Out Solstice Bells on here, but I like his version of Pavane on this. Wonderful. I love that piece of music anyway, and they do a great version of it. And then there's nothing until 2022. And the Zealot Gene comes out. We had Mrs. Tibbet, which is quite fun. The Z Lot Gene itself, pretty good. But it was that first track. Remember, I did when it first came out. I did a response to it, Shosanna singing, and about 3,000 people have watched that video for that thing. So it's the first. It was a really good track, and it is the best track on the album on this occasion. Okay, up next from 2023, we had Rock Float. Now this was a much better album than the Zealot Dream for me. I mean, I love Volposto and the Navigators, really good. But Wolf Unchained is a super track. The playing on here, I love the church organ. I love the howling wind at the beginning. It is really in the wolf. It really is brilliant. And then we have the latest album that came out earlier this year, which was Curious Ruminant. Puppet and the Master Slave is absolutely brilliant. Savannah of Paddington Green, good. But Drink from the Same Well is probably the best of the new stuff, the new era. It's a magnificent piece. It's got lots of classical sounding Jethro Tull. The flute playing's good. Okay, Iain's vocals have dropped a little bit and he's more talking. But the whole essence of that track is going back to the old days, the longer tracks. You know, you're thick as a brick sort of thing. Absolutely wonderful piece of music. So there we go. That was just a quick run through some nice tracks off the Jethro Tull catalogue. Okay, that's us done for today. We'll be back tomorrow, and it's Marathon Day, and we've got part 2 of Santana. Looking forward to that one as well. So have a great day, and the sun's out today. It's blue skies. If I told you it didn't stop raining all day yesterday, it was horrible. So at least we can go out for a walk today. So we'll see you soon. Bye for now.